Oh, here we go. Ugh. There we go. Oh, speak of the devil. Look who's scoring. Ryan Clough. Hey guys, how's it going? It's Target here, coming at you with a different episode this time. It's an online versus. I haven't done one of these in a long time. I think the last one I did was Detroit, quite a few months ago. Anyway, so I randomized 3 times, and I think that I'm going to go with the San Jose Sharks. They're the best of the 3, and I think I'll have the most fun playing with them. Joe Thornton is like the face-off master, it seems. So, it'll be fun playing with these guys, that's for sure. He's going with Pittsburgh. So, we got a good matchup here for you guys. Pittsburgh and San Jose. As I mentioned in the online shootout video, Pittsburgh made waves with their Jerome McGinley trade, and we will talk about that a little bit here in this video. Just what Pittsburgh is now, and you know, where that puts them in terms of Stanley Cup contention, because basically they've made it obvious at this point that they're all in 100%. Whatever it takes to win the Stanley Cup, that's Pittsburgh's attitude right now. I mean, you pick up Brendan Morrow, you pick up Jerome McGinley, you know, 2 players that are going to be helping you offensively as well as defensively. That's huge for the Penguins. That's absolutely huge for the Penguins. I know it's kind of Boston feels like they've been cheated a little bit, but I really think, honestly, who cares? Sorry, Boston, that's the way it goes. That's the nature of the business. Deals fall apart all the time. I'm sorry that you didn't find out until midnight. Oh, hold on. Oh, never mind. They caught up with me. I'm sorry that you didn't find out until midnight that you lost out on the Jerome McGinley sweepstakes, as he was calling it. We're gonna get a power play here, but that's the nature of the business. Sorry, you know, you lost out, and it happens all the time. So I think Boston's just so used to attracting all the players there because they're a winning team and everybody wants to play in Boston, that when you lose out, you're only losing out to teams like Pittsburgh, you know, like Detroit. I mean, Detroit's not even up there anymore. You know, you're talking Vancouver at this point. Detroit's been disappointing, to say the least, in terms of what they expect. It looks like they're going to make the playoffs, though. I think they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they'll go far, but I think they'll make the playoffs. So, basically, where does that leave us in terms of free agents? Because Brendan Morrow's gone, Jerome McGinley's gone. Basically the 2 big guys that were supposed to be moved here, are gone. And I think that leaves us with Ryan Clough as the next option. Now, where do I see Ryan Clough going? Ryan Clough is going to go to a team that basically needs a power forward. And every team seems to be on the market for another power forward. It's whatever you can kind of get in that market. There's a couple that I also think are available, not only Ryan Clough, but I think Dustin Penner. And Dustin Penner hasn't really had a fair shake in Los Angeles, and that's nobody's fault but his own. I mean, being an Oilers fan, having Dustin Penner here in Edmonton, his final year was weak, and his final year was weak, and I can tell you right now that I was not a Dustin Penner fan. That year that he scored 35 goals, I mean, he did exactly what a power forward does. Get down in front of the net and bang the bodies and put away the dirty goals. And that's how he scored so many and led the Oilers in scoring. And up until Jordan Eberle last season, he had the most goals in an Oilers season since, I want to say Doug Waite. I could be totally wrong. Oh, hold on, breakaway. Oh! Just got blocked. Yeah, so he had the most goals in that. So Dustin Penner's a valuable player, and because of his play in Los Angeles, I honestly think that teams could get him for a good deal. If you think about what players have been going for this season in terms of what they're worth, I mean, Jerome McGinley got 2 NCAA players who have potential, you know, one more so than the other, as well as a first round pick, which for Pittsburgh you're looking at 27 to 30, maybe 26 depending on how they finish. And really, you might as well be drafting in the second round at that point. So really, if we take a look at it, it's like a second round pick, right? Not a first. So that's what players are going for, and that's an elite player in Jerome McGinley. You know, he's not Sidney Crosby, and he's not Alexander Ovechkin, he's not Steven Stamkos or John Tavares, or, you know what, even at this point, Taylor Hall. He doesn't have the same stock as these guys. He's 35 years old. He's getting a little bit slower. He can't skate as fast as he once used to, but he's still a smart player. He still knows where to go. Oh, shit, and I got blocked. He still knows where to go to the puck, and he still knows how to lead a team. I think that Pittsburgh will win the Stanley Cup this year. I've been saying that since the beginning of the season. But now, more so than ever, do I believe that. So, we got a little bit off topic there, but Ryan Clough, I think, will be the next one to move here. San Jose is on the cusp of making the playoffs. And, well, I think that they're going to be pushing for it. I don't think that they're going to be buying too hard. And if they do buy, it's going to be a bit of a... They're going to be a bit of a buy and a sell, if you know what I mean. So they're going to sell Clough for a pick, but they're also going to probably trade a pick, possibly even the pick they get for Clough, combine that with another asset, and pick up somebody a little bit better that'll help them finish off. Now, if I were them, and he was available, Mika Kiprasov would be a great pickup for San Jose. I mean, Niemi's a good goalie, but he's not, you know, he's not elite. He's not top-of-the-line goaltending. Oh, that's the end of the first, guys. I'll see you for the second, and we'll pick up talking about Mika Kiprasov. Hey, guys, welcome back here, Target. So, Mika Kiprasov would be a nice fit in San Jose, I think. But Kiprasov also said, I don't want to go anywhere. You send me to a different city, I'm not reporting to that team. So... you're kind of screwed there. Otherwise, Mika Kiprasov would be a great trade. And honestly, if I were the Calgary Flames, I would be welcome to that. I would say, yeah, let's trade Mika Kiprasov, and let's get another first-round pick. If you think about Mika Kiprasov, you think you can get a first-round pick? Absolutely you could. What did the Oilers trade? I think the Oilers traded their first-round pick for Dwayne Rollison, if I'm not mistaken. And Dwayne Rollison is not half the goalie that Mika Kiprasov is. So you trade Mika Kiprasov for a first-round pick and a potential young prospect or something. Not necessarily as good as the ones that Pittsburgh gave up, and only one. But, and I think San Jose could definitely make a push for the playoffs. And then what do you do with Ryan Clough? So who's the potential buyer for Ryan Clough? And like I said, anybody is looking for a power forward. But the team that comes to mind to me, anyway, is the Edmonton Oilers. Now, do I want Ryan Clough, though? And where does he fit in the top 6? Well, he would pretty much replace either Ales Hemsky or Nail Yakupov. And I don't think that's something people want to do and want to see right now, but the fact of the matter is that's going to be the reality eventually. Something's got to give on that top 6, and if they want size, they're going to have to sacrifice some skill. And it's tough to make that call because Ales Hemsky has been playing amazing the last little while. You know, just the goal he scored against Columbus last night was just dirty. And that's the type of Ales Hemsky I remember. Oh, hold on. Here we go. Oh! That's the type of Ales Hemsky I remember from back in the 2006 playoffs. And before that, that season was so good for him. And the year after. That's the Ales Hemsky that I remember. Point per game player. Nasty, nasty goals. But he has, you know, like, he hasn't been... Whoa! That was close. He hasn't been consistent, and that's his problem. So, you have to sacrifice a little skill to get a little bit of size, and thankfully, that decision... Whoa, what a save. Wow, I'm just going to hold that. That decision of who to keep and who to get rid of, that's a tough one, because... And I'm not going to make that decision, thank God. They pay somebody else to do that. That's called the general manager. That's Steve Tambolini's call. But they just re-signed Hemsky at the beginning of the season to, what was it, 3 years? $5 million a year, something like that. You know, That's a commitment to a player right there. That you're saying you want to keep him around for another few years. And I like Halish Hemsky, but I do agree that the Oilers need a little bit of size up there, a little bit of grit. Now, Taylor Hall is a bigger guy. You know, he's about 6'1", 195. He's not huge, but it's not like Ryan Clough is tipping the scales anytime. You know, he's just it's his style of play, and he's also a much more resilient player than Taylor Hall. He can take a hit, he can give a hit, and he's not going to get hurt. Oh, here we go. Ugh. There we go. Oh, speak of the devil, look who's scoring, Ryan Clough. That little bastard. He knew we were talking about him. He knew he was on the trading block, and he knew that he had to be big to stick with San Jose. Mind you, who would want to stick with San Jose? Sorry. Sorry, San Jose fans. No, San Jose's got a good team. I like them. They're a good team. I just hate playing them. So, yeah, that's where I see Ryan Clough going anyway, is do a team like Edmonton, wants to make the playoffs, wants to add some size to their team. And the thing that drives me crazy when it comes to making deals, if you ever listen to an analyst on TSN or Sportsnet or ESPN or whatever, I don't know what shows are in the States, but the one team that everybody says is potentially interested in a player, and almost every single player, it's making me sick, is Detroit. Well, he'd be a good fit in Detroit, and I think that perhaps you could be a good fit in Detroit. And this guy could probably fit in Detroit pretty good. And I think that Detroit would be interested. Detroit. God damn it, there are other teams other than Detroit, and I'm sorry, Detroit is aging. They're going to eventually have to go to the draft and get a few prospects, because I got to tell you, Valtteri Filppula is not going to cut it, and you know, they're lucky with a few other players, but they're not going to last long. Eventually, things are going to get tired. And has Jimmy Howard really proven himself as an elite goalie? Not really. Not really. He's been very inconsistent, and they know that. Oh, here we go. Oh, got close. Everybody in the hockey world knows that Jimmy Howard is a good goalie, but he's not elite. You know, he's not any Dominic Hasek. He's not Dominic Hasek, and he's not even as good as Chris Osgood, for that matter. But in the past, with Detroit, you didn't have to be a good goalie to be considered elite. In Detroit, because you had a huge team in front of you. Like, not huge in size, but huge in terms of skill. Nick Lidstrom, you know, Pavel Datsyuk, Henrik Zetterberg. I mean, I really don't need to list everybody off. But every player that's played in Detroit has supported this team defensively and offensively. And the need for an excellent goalie hasn't been as prevalent as it is with other teams, you know. The Oilers needed excellent goaltending because people called it a mediocre defense and, you know, a young offense. So they needed an elite goalie. And you know what? I think that they got great goaltending out of Devin Dubnyk. Think about Calgary Flames. Really, they have no young players in their lineup. They're all veterans and only a few really skilled ones. Their defense isn't that great, but I'll tell you what, they have an elite goalie in Mika Kiprusoff. Anyway, guys, we'll talk about more of this back when we come back from the third and final period. We're up 1-0 on the Pittsburgh Penguins. 1.7 seconds left. Drop the puck, ref. There we go, guys. All right, so I'll see you guys on the other side for the third period. Hey, guys, welcome back. So, like I was saying, it depends on a team need, right? Not every team needs an elite goaltender. And Detroit, at one point, didn't, but now they do. And Jimmy Howard needs to make a decision here. He needs to think, do I want to be the goaltender of the future for the Detroit Red Wings? If the answer to that question is yes, then he needs to step up his game and he needs to be consistent. Otherwise, he's going to, oh, damn it. My player wouldn't grab it. For God's sake. Otherwise, he's going to lose his spot to another goaltender. Now, who do I see as a potential goaltender for the Detroit Red Wings? Who's coming up here that's, you know, who's available? Who's coming off a contract? Something like that. Now, obviously, this year and next year it can't happen. But I see like a Thomas Vokoun type player at least coming in. Thomas Vokoun, I think, in my opinion, is more consistent than Jimmy Howard, and Detroit fans will probably argue that. And I'm nothing against Jimmy Howard. I like Jimmy Howard, but he is inconsistent. So he could lose this position to a Thomas Vokoun. And Vokoun is making like $2 million this year. Jimmy Howard is making like 2.25. I honestly think that you could say that Vokoun would want, if he went to free agency that following year, Vokoun would probably want about $3 to $3.5 million. The only difference between the two really is their age. I mean, Thomas Vokoun's 35 years old, and really he's on the downswing, but there's really not much available in terms of goalies. When people get a good goalie, they lock onto him. Now, speaking of goalies, what about Roberto Luongo? Everybody was talking about him at the beginning of the season. By the way, that was a really close goal. I don't know how that didn't go in. Everybody's been talking about Roberto Luongo and the trade to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And quite frankly, I think it's a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors. I don't think we're ever going to see a trade with Roberto Luongo. I think he's going to end up sticking around in Vancouver. And if he does get traded, it's definitely not going to be this year. Definitely not going to be this year. And I think Toronto would be foolish to make a trade for Roberto Luongo. I mean, I don't think that their goaltending situation is any worse than, you know, some of the other teams in the NHL. James Reimer and Ben Scrivens. They're both young goaltenders. I mean, 24 and 25. And they're both not the best, but they're getting better. I think that they're learning. Especially James Reimer. He's getting a lot better. For a guy who makes 1.8 a year, that's a pretty good deal, considering your position in the standings. And Ben Scrivens at like 625. Oh, hold on. Oh, I thought I was going to snipe that. That's a good deal for a goaltender. And I think for bang for your buck, you got... Oh, Big Joe Thornton. Weren't we talking about at the beginning of the game about how he can win faceoffs and he can do pretty much everything else? Yeah, he can. There's proof right there. That's sick. Good job, Joe. That's my Joe Thornton right there. Big Joe Thornton. Anyway, you know, your bang for your buck is insane. You know, what was it? Scott Gomez, they were saying, makes how many $1 million per goal when he was playing in Montreal? Like, that's ridiculous. That's the kind of thing you're looking at with Roberto Luongo. You know, Roberto Luongo's not as bad. Trust me. Roberto Luongo is probably worth the dollar that he gets paid. But same thing. I still think that Toronto is getting a phenomenal deal at this point, and that if you were to switch to Roberto Luongo, it would actually cost you more long run. In the long run or long term. Sorry, I kind of mixed those two up there. Oh, here we go. Joe Pavel. Oh, there's a guy back. I didn't see him. Yeah, I mean, I guess the initial asking price for Roberto Luongo was Nazem Kadri and I believe Jake Gardiner is what they wanted. And Toronto told them to go screw themselves. And who wouldn't? I mean, now here's the thing, guys, and Toronto, I know you're going to be very upset, you fans there. But Nazem Kadri is not the second coming of Jesus. And I think you guys need to know that because you seem to have this, I don't know. What was it? The first year, like when he was going to they expected him to find a roster spot. Nazem Kadri was God himself, and he was the best young player, better than Jordan Eberle, you know, better than Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin, even though he wasn't. It's how Toronto treated him, right? And then when he didn't make the team, and the next year after that he didn't make the team, Nazem Kadri was kind of shunned. He was on the outs, like ready to be traded, an asset that had lost value. Toronto was ready to cut their losses. And then all of a sudden this year, you know, he's got more than a point per game. And we've jumped the bandwagon once more, and Nazem Kadri is now Jesus himself, as I've said. Nazem Kadri's not that good. He's okay. He's a good player. Nazem Kadri is a good player, but you've already seen he's got inconsistencies. Now, he's young. Yeah, he's young. Believe me. But I can tell you right now, he's not the answer to all your problems. You're going to need somebody else in there. Who else? Jake Gardiner? I like Jake Gardiner. I've got no... Whoa! Almost slid that in there. I've got no... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Minute 34. Okay, I got to control the goalie on this one. I got to come out. Oh, what the hell, Niemi? He slid the wrong way. Oh, god damn it, Niemi. He was supposed to slide with the stick on the right side. I know people complain about this all the time, and I'm not changing that. I'm going to continue that streak of complaining about the goalie sliding that the wrong way. Sorry, I like Jake Gardiner, and I think Jake Gardiner is a great defenseman. So I've got no complaints about him. I think he'll fit in well. And also, they've got Morgan Riley. Morgan Riley's a good defenseman too. And again, Toronto, simmer down a little bit with Morgan Riley and how good he is. Just because somebody was drafted high doesn't mean they're right. Right, Alexander Daigle? So, or Patrick Stefan. You know, like, how many draft busts have there been? I'm not saying Morgan Riley's a draft bust by any stretch of the imagination. I think that the NHL scouts have gotten a lot better at assessing talent and where they'll fit in on an NHL roster within 5 years. And I think that you guys got a solid defenseman who you could potentially play on a top pairing. Maybe not even the top pairing, but definitely at least... Whoa, get it out. Definitely at least top 4. So, I think you've got somebody good there in Morgan Riley. But again, you know, the Toronto, you guys put your players in way too much in the spotlight, put way too much pressure on these kids, and next thing you know, they don't meet your expectations, you know? Like, I don't know how else to put it. Now we're going to overtime here. Hopefully he presses A quickly. Yeah, there you go. So, anyway, that's where I'll leave it for NHL talks for now. It's exciting stuff. Oh, for God's sake. We'll comment on just the overtime period now. And also a little about me here, guys. As I've told you before, I've got a Twitter account. It's TargetOdd18. Follow me on Twitter because you'll get free stuff. Now, I haven't given away anything. I'm just trying to get you to follow me. But seriously, if you do follow me on Twitter, it'll give you updates of when all my videos come out, so you'll know. Don't forget to check out my other series, guys, in case I'm still just as awesome in those videos as I am in these ones. The Walking Dead, doing The Walking Dead, and then I've also got Lego City Undercover. If you guys haven't seen this game, it's actually pretty funny. If anybody's played a Lego game, you'll understand how funny it is. So it's that, but it's like cops, so it's kind of cool. And the final series I'm doing is Army of Two, and I'm actually doing that with my fiance. So if you want something a little bit different and hear a voice other than mine if it's driving you crazy, but you still like the videos, go watch Army of Two because I am doing those series. And I'm not plowing through these at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I will if you guys want me to. Let me know. I'm kind of just taking my time, making it more episodic than I am, you know, bam, 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 watch all 37 parts. So that's kind of my attitude. I want it to come out nice and simple. Oh, what a snipe by Joe Thornton. There it is, boys. That's the short side snipe I tell you guys about all the time that I preach in my online, or my how to snipe tutorial. That's the one right there. That's the dirty snipe with Joe Thornton. Watch this. Perfect. Perfect. I did do a wrist shot. I didn't do a snapshot. But you'll see. There. Fleury has no chance. I don't know what they read, but they're not reading my shot. That's for sure. So, yeah, check out those 3 series. Army of Two, Lego City Undercover, and The Walking Dead Survival Instincts. Guys, you'll love it. And of course, always NHL content coming at you. I hope you're watching Be a GM because I think it's probably the most excited I've been for a Be a GM series in the last few years. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for listening to me ramble. I'm Target Audience. You guys have a good one.